From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. President Donald Trump announced that U.S. Space Command will be located in Alabama, reversing a Biden-era decision to keep it at its temporary headquarters in Colorado. The long-expected decision from Trump caps a 4-year tug-of-war between two states and opposing administrations about where to locate U.S. Space Command, an intense fight because the headquarters would be a significant boon to the local economy. Alabama and Colorado have long battled to claim Space Command, with elected officials from both states asserting their state is the better location. The U.S. Space Command headquarters will move to the beautiful locale of a place called Huntsville, Alabama, forever to be known from this point forward as Rocket City, said Trump, flanked by Republican members of Alabama's congressional delegation from the Oval Office on Tuesday. We had a lot of competition for this, and Alabama's getting it. In announcing that Space Command would be headquartered in Alabama, Trump said the big problem he has with Colorado is its use of mail-in voting. Trump has long claimed without clear evidence that mail-in voting increases fraud, and he's seeking to ban it as a practice by states in U.S. elections. See, the problem with that is it's up to the states to decide how the elections are held, not the federal government. So that played a big factor, Trump said, of relocating Space Force's command center. The president said that mail-in voting leads to automatically crooked elections. Yeah, especially if Trump is on the ballot. Meanwhile, the president was asked if he had decided to send National Guard troops to Chicago, and said, "We're going in," but added, "I didn't say when." Trump said he'd like Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, to call him and say, "Yeah, send in the troops." If the governor of Illinois would call me up, I would love to do it. Now we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it, Trump said. He said he has an obligation to protect this country, and that includes intervention in Chicago and Baltimore, despite local opposition. Meanwhile, Trump says the U.S. has carried out a strike in the southern Caribbean against a drug-carrying vessel that departed from Venezuela. The president on Tuesday offered scant details on the operation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on X that the vessel was being operated by a designated narco-terrorist organization. The press office of Venezuela's government did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the announcement. House Speaker Mike Johnson is joining a meeting with survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse on Capitol Hill as lawmakers debate how to push for disclosure of the investigation. The survivors emphasized in the meeting that they wanted to keep private their personal information and some details of the nature of their abuse, according to Representative Tim Burchett, a Tennessee Republican who was in the meeting. Johnson has been pressured into acting on the Epstein files by many of his own members who are pressing the Trump administration for more public disclosure in the case. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, a New York Democrat, said that he and the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, discussed how to reach a bipartisan deal to fund the federal government. The two discussed kitchen table economic issues, health care, public safety, and national security, Jeffries said. But in that conversation, I also made clear we're not going to support partisan funding legislation. Period. Full stop, said Jeffries. Congressional Republicans need to garner some Democratic support to continue funding the government. Jeffries said that he and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are working closely together on their negotiation strategy. He also called for a bipartisan meeting of top congressional leaders. And that's the news at this hour. If you are watching our news videos, please subscribe to our channel. That's over on YouTube, by the way. PEP Radio is available on the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, the Live 365 app, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.